How's it going? Um, so, taking a test tomorrow over photosynthesis and cellular respiration. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that real quick and give you a couple sample questions and be on our way. So, remember, photosynthesis, start with that. It's all about plants making food for themselves in the form of glucose. So, it's all about how plants make glucose. Remember, there's three things they need. So they need sunlight, they need water, they need carbon dioxide, and then on the product side, so those would be the reactants. On the product side, you would have oxygen, O2, and C6H12O6, which is the glucose. That's the food they make. Okay. Remember, with photosynthesis, there is some ATP produced. Remember, ATP is just that cellular energy. Okay. So there is some ATP produced because the sunlight that comes down is actually changed into that ATP, that chemical energy that then kind of drives the whole process of photosynthesis. So it's important to remember that. Then, the next step then, okay, so now the plants have their food. Well, what are they going to do with it? Or for even us, when we eat, what do we actually do with our food? How does our body actually get the energy that's stored in our food? That process is called cellular respiration. So cellular respiration then is taking that molecule of glucose, breaking it down, and turning it into ATP. So remember my analogy. I talked about how you can think of the glucose as like crude oil. Okay, you couldn't just put oil straight into your car that's been pumped out of the ground. It has to be refined, right? Okay, so cellular respiration is that refining process that takes the food we eat, okay, the organic molecules that we eat, and changes them into usable energy for our cells called ATP. Okay. Obviously, there's different reactions involved for photosynthesis. Back to that. Remember, there's the light reaction and the Calvin cycle. Okay. The light reaction mainly had, the light being captured by the chlorophyll, ATP being produced, water being broken apart, the oxygen being released, the hydrogen being passed on to the Calvin cycle. In the Calvin cycle, then you have the CO2 being used, the carbon dioxide being used, and then the glucose being formed. For the cellular respiration, we talked about glycolysis, that's the breakdown of glucose. Then you have something called the Krebs cycle, that's the second stage. And then you have the electron transport chain. Okay, the electron transport chain, that third one, is where most of the ATP production comes through. One more thing, and then we'll get to a couple questions. Remember, we talked with cellular respiration. There were two different pathways. There was the aerobic pathway and the anaerobic pathway. Remember, with aerobic, it's much more efficient. You get a lot more ATP when there's enough oxygen present for you to carry out aerobic respiration. But sometimes we don't bring in enough oxygen for our cells, and so they get depleted, and they have to go into anaerobic cellular respiration. And that's when there's only 2 ATP created per molecule of glucose. And in humans, lactic acid builds up, and then in yeast and certain plants, ethyl alcohol builds up. So as I've said for 2 weeks now, a lot of the questions deal directly with the equations. So if you know the equations, you should be good. And in fact, the very first question, you just have to pick out the equation for photosynthesis. So as long as you know it and you can recognize it in multiple choice, you can refer back to that question the whole test and be good to go. What structure, or no, what does chlorophyll absorb? Sunlight. Here's another one, products of plants. What's the products that plants produce in photosynthesis? Okay. That would obviously be oxygen and glucose. What 3 substances must be present in the mitochondria for aerobic respiration to take place? Oxygen. You need enzymes there. Okay, you need enzymes to make it happen. Any chemical reaction needs enzymes. And then organic molecules. Remember your notes, they even said, okay, this organic molecule's right here. What could we change it to? And we said food. Okay? Hey, Carlin. What are you doing? Hi. Anaerobic versus aerobic. Which one is more efficient? Obviously, aerobic respiration is more efficient because it's creating more ATP. So there's 2 questions on that. Which of the following substance is a product of photosynthesis? Which phrase best describes cellular respiration? So just in general, what is cellular respiration? What's the energy storing compound called? ATP. Another one, just a diagram, but it's still just asking products. What's the products of one are the reactants of the other. So what are they? An important step in cellular respiration would it be the creation of oxygen? Would it be the creation of metalloids? Have we ever even talked about that? Would it be the breakdown of carbon dioxide? Is that a part of cellular respiration? How about the breakdown of glucose? Yeah, glycolysis, breakdown of glucose. Products of cellular respiration, that's a reactant of photosynthesis. Pick it out. Products of photosynthesis, it's a reactant of cellular respiration. Pick it out. Chlorophyll, again, what does chlorophyll do? It takes light energy, changes it into chemical energy. More. Here's graph here. Shows oxygen level going down, carbon dioxide going up. What process would be shown here? Okay, if oxygen level going down and carbon dioxide is going up, what takes in oxygen and gives off carbon dioxide? What process? Respiration. Very good. ATP. Okay. You got to know if it's a reactant or a product of which one. It's a product of cellular respiration. By which process are carbon dioxide and water converted to carbohydrates? Photosynthesis.
Daddy?
Yes.
Can you turn us on?
Not right now, sweetie girl. I'm almost done with this. Another one, a picture. What does that picture represent? Well, there's radiant energy going in right there. So if there's radiant energy going in, radiant energy means sunlight. What process has to do with sunlight? Nothing. Cells convert nutrients into energy that they can use by oxidizing and reducing molecules. The conversion of energy produces
Nothing.
ATP and some waste product.
Nothing.
When you convert nutrients into energy, that's talking about cellular respiration. That's that refining process. Here's another picture. It shows plants giving off molecule A. A fish taking in molecule A. A fish breathing out molecule B. You got to label what A and B represent. That's about it. That's it. That's about all the questions. I mean, obviously there's more questions. I didn't go over every single one, but they're all very similar to that. There's a few curveballs thrown in there, but not too many. I should be at school no later than 7:50, 7:55. It is Taco Friday, so I might have to stop and get a taco or two. But I'll be there, about the normal time. Y'all have a great night. Sorry this is late. Had basketball tonight, but anyway, peace out. We'll see you guys and gals in the morning. Carlin, do you want to say bye to everybody?
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, I'm okay.
Okay.
Bye.
You can blow him a kiss. Say good luck on your test. Good luck on your test. Say good luck on your test.
Good luck on it.